On June 7, 2011, 6'5", 220-pound Joshua Hilberling was pushed out of his 25th-story apartment window in Tulsa, Oklahoma, landing 17 stories below on the top deck of the parking garage. It happened during an argument with his 19-year-old pregnant wife Amber. Just weeks earlier, on May 10th, 23-year-old Joshua, or Josh as he was known to family, had filed for a protection from abuse order after a domestic violence incident. The case was dismissed, however, on May 24th because neither party showed up to court. Josh and Amber married in August of 2010. The young couple had a tumultuous history, having broken up and reconciled numerous times, and was filled with back-and-forth accusations of domestic violence and illegal substance use. The couple spent time in Alaska, where Josh was stationed with the United States Air Force before moving back to Tulsa. While in Alaska, an incident was noted in his Air Force file where he threw a plate at Amber and attempted to snap one of her breast implants. Both Josh and Amber's families claim abuse occurred from both sides. According to Amber, drug-related issues were partly to blame for his dismissal from the military. He was discharged in May of 2011. The day of his death, it was speculated that he was leaving the apartment, according to his mother, saying, quote, "Josh went to Domestic Violence Intervention Services, DVS, looking for help. It was difficult for him to admit he was a victim. Despite filing a protective order, Josh kept going back to his wife for the sake of their unborn child," end quote. Amber was 7 months pregnant with their first child, a son, at the time of Josh's death. Maintenance workers were in the apartment that day fixing the bedroom window that had been broken allegedly during an argument where Josh threw a laundry basket towards Amber, hitting and cracking the window instead. The maintenance worker had claimed there was tension in the air when he arrived. Divorce had apparently been mentioned, possibly leading to the argument. He later heard running and a loud crash as he worked in the next room. Amber admitted to screaming at him and calling him a coward before pushing him. A downstairs neighbor testified he heard running towards the window and the sound of breaking glass, followed by a woman screaming. After, Amber ran down to where her husband landed after his 3-second fall. He died on impact. In regards to his death, there are no doubts that Amber was the aggressor that day, having repeatedly been heard by neighbors and emergency personnel saying she pushed him. She was recorded in the police station interrogation room speaking with her grandmother, confessing that she had pushed Josh towards the window.
Josh is dead. Not only is he dead, but the way he died. I just wish it would leave my head. Every time I close my eyes, I see it. It's like torture. My subconscious just keeps playing it over and over and over again. As if one time seeing it isn't bad enough, I have to see it over and over and over. I just want to save him. I want to save him. I just want it. At least if I can go back and take back the push, at least I can save him.
The push?
The push. I pushed him against the wall and he... Oh my god. At least I could catch him. I tried, but it was all so fast. And I just want to know what his last thoughts were. What could you think? What could go through your head when you're falling to your death?
She was subsequently charged with second-degree murder. She was released on bond 2 days after her arrest, but it was revoked after prosecutors claimed she failed to keep her ankle monitor charged at least 10 times. After rejecting all plea deals, Amber's jury trial began in March 2013, close to 2 years after Josh's passing. Her defense team blamed the tragedy on the thickness of the glass. Though double-paned, the window glass measured at less than 1/8 of an inch in thickness, the thickness typically used in picture frames. It was neither tempered nor laminated for safety. The prosecution brought in a glass expert that rebutted, stating that the glass used complies with current standards for that type of building. Amber claimed self-defense as well, saying Josh had grabbed her and she was merely pushing him off of her, not meaning to push him towards the window. Her attorneys argued that there was a scratch and fingerprint marks on her shoulders, proving that Josh had grabbed her before she pushed him. Amber's stories have differed, however, claiming in one that he, quote, tripped over his own big feet, end quote, and in the other that he had tripped over candlesticks after the push, although in official crime scene photos, the candlesticks appear undisturbed. She can also be heard in the footage from the interrogation room, telling her grandmother that Josh was messing with the TV when she pushed him. Notice how Amber's story, just hours after the tragedy, does not include Josh grabbing her.
Was he fixing to... Where was the candle things? There's like these stand-up candle things like this high. They're just like little wire things, but he was fixing the TV. He was like messing with the TV right here. And the window's right here. And I pushed him and he fell into the window and fell. Oh God. I'm never gonna get over this. I'm never gonna understand it. I mean, I thought divorce was gonna hurt.
On March 18, 2013, after taking less than 3 hours to deliberate, jurors found Amber Hilberling guilty of second-degree murder. She was sentenced on April 23 to 25 years. Additionally, she had to pay $10,000 in fines, as well as funeral expenses for Josh. The plea deals would have allowed her to negotiate a 5-year sentence in prison and 15 years probation, or 7 years in prison and 13 years of a suspended sentence. Amber hired a new legal team that filed for appeal in May of 2013, stating Amber had no murderous intent when she pushed her husband towards the window. Oklahoma's Court of Criminal Appeals denied her appeal. Amber served only 3 years of her 25-year prison term. On October 25, 2016, the Oklahoma Department of Corrections confirmed that 25-year-old Amber was found hanging from the bunk bed in her cell by another inmate the previous Monday afternoon. The prison staff attempted to revive her. She was pronounced dead after 15 minutes. The official autopsy confirmed that Amber died from asphyxia due to hanging. It also revealed that she had meth in her system. She also had prior cuts on her arms and wrists. She had been housed at the Mabel Bassett Correctional Center in McLeod, Oklahoma. Josh's family reportedly reacted to Amber's death through a Facebook post on Monday, writing, "We know how it feels to lose a child. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. It's something no parent should have to experience. Condolences to those who loved her." Prior to the trial, Amber filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the apartment building, University Club Tower, alleging the window's glass was too thin and violated safety codes. She was seeking more than $10,000 in damages for her and the couple's infant son. In a strange and almost eerie twist, a letter arrived to KTUL ABC 8 news station in Tulsa, 2 days after Amber's death. The letter was written 1 day before she died. It was addressed to an executive producer in response to a request to interview her. She wrote of her distrust of the media, but that she was open to sit down with them. Some claim her willingness to share her story shows her intent to live, further fueling speculation of foul play. After Amber's death, her estate filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Oklahoma Department of Correction for failing to prevent her death. They suspected foul play despite the medical examiner's ruling. The lawsuit was later dropped. Thank you for watching Justice Calls. Are you listening?